Okay, back again, another Animoji live stream podcast, broadcast, or whatever that is. So basically, I'm in the unintentional free time, which basically in this day I do have an intentional scheduled free time as well later in the afternoon. Even though, yeah, I decided to live stream in during this time instead, and most likely I will not try to do another one just like any other previous day, which I only try to do it once on a day, despite I'm still not have enough motivation to continue the process and upload into the pre-recorded emoji because, yeah, I don't know, I'm just trying to find another motivation to do so. Besides, there is several things that I basically need to be contemplating, perhaps, which, even though, yeah, it's obviously not changing anything. Just like when you try to express yourself doing a bad things, it will never make you have a good thing. So the only thing that can make you have a good thing is definitely to reach those good things instead of doing other things that definitely not related at all. And yeah, including contemplating, which basically just do nothing literally and try to think about what I basically really want in this world. Even though, yeah, it's obviously pretty hard because, yeah, for some reason, reflecting yourself without ever doing something is also not gonna be anything. It's just gonna be just waste of time. That I don't know whether it is gonna be much harder every day if you talk about the opportunity that may no longer be exists in the future if we never really try to do that in the past. And yeah, to be honest, since this is definitely just another live stream in the next day, which I definitely didn't going through anything from the last live stream, so I basically only tried to do a pre-recorded emoji as usual to the remaining footage that I have already prepared but never really create the emoji footage yet, so I decided to do that, especially when I also not having any new recording, which I don't know whether it is actually caused from the devices or the facility that can make me more motivated to do another recording, but at least I try to save more storage for a while until I finally do another new recording again. And yeah, what else did I basically want to talk about, because the half terabyte storage flash drive is definitely gonna be full at a matter of time, at a matter of several months, if I basically try to keep recording. If I basically try to do it occasionally, it may last for a year, perhaps, I don't know, but it's definitely getting more risky since, yeah, I just don't want to put a lot of data in a single point of failure, so I definitely need to buy another new storage devices that basically have a bigger capacity and also able to kind of like segregating, or I don't know, like separating the data into multiple storage devices so that if one of them have a problem, that I still have in the other storage devices were maybe 50-50 at least. Yeah, for some reason I'm still try to save money as much as possible, because I don't know when will I finally able to achieve the most expensive things that I want to afford, which is a basic needs of a human. And yeah, the reason why it's basically pretty expensive is because I basically try to afford something that's still pretty much like the one that was already had before by my parents or all of my ancestors before. So yeah, that's the reason why, even though if you talk about grandparents or great grandparents, they basically still live in rural areas, which definitely is still pretty cheap right now. But yeah, at the time of the baby boomer generation is the one that basically have the massive exodus from rural area into the urban areas, which makes the urban areas is just getting so expensive that we never really think about that before. And instead of trying to, I don't know, fulfill another desires that probably have the same amount of price in the past, so they just not enough do enough preparation to the increase of the price of the assets, so that their descendants not really need to think about how they can have a very multiple times bigger income than they used to be. So that's hard reality, an irony that we basically need to accept, because it's basically exists into many assets, including stocks or even cryptocurrencies. So there is actually a possibilities that it will be go down if there is a world war that basically makes the assets is just pretty much impossible and worthless. But that's a pretty small probability, very small probability scenario, because there is no people that's gonna be fortunate if it will eventually happen. So, but if it eventually happen, maybe all of the peoples that desperate to do bad things right now, to do corruption in the government, maybe they finally realize that they should do, I don't know, utilize the country monies more effectively in order to be survive. At least, because if everything was always look normal, they basically tempted to do bad things that basically like corruption or something like that. But when the world is just going to be end, then they definitely will not try to do that, because it will be waste as well. All of the things that they can only think about is just survival, obviously. And since they basically already got a higher position or a lot of fortune to basically supports their survival, then they most likely have a higher chance. But at least if you talk about survivals, you basically need some resources as well from a lot of people to basically protect the countries. So yeah, maybe they also need to physically involve, perhaps, I don't know. At least they were the one that in the government instead of us, regular ordinary people that basically outside the government in the informal sectors that basically had a lot of similar peoples that can be gone at every time. I don't know how to explain about this, but yeah, that's the reality of corporate slave as well. So if you basically gone from this world, your main job of task or the people who hire you or pay you will eventually change into another person pretty easily if you basically didn't have an enough high position. That's probably considered quite hard to be changed, even though it's basically always be easy, especially when the amount of money that can be paid for those positions is also pretty big. So it's definitely pretty easy to get the people that able to do many things at once, even with the lowest position. At some point we just need to do a lot of things that may not our, may not be our responsibility, which is pretty sad. But yeah, that's the harsh truth again that we need to accept and be grateful about it. Even though if we ever had a better opportunity, or if we really want a better opportunity, it's okay. There's definitely no mandatory things that we basically need to stay forever in the same place. So it's just up to us that what the life that we really want. To be honest, I basically wanted to do something that I really like, which is having my own businesses so that I can actually experience a very flexible time, even though right now my main job of task is pretty much still quite flexible. But at least if I ever work on my own, I basically able to maximize those flexibility and also the result based on the efforts that I basically make. Even though it's definitely not gonna be easy, especially when I really wanted to do the same or immediately wanted to have the same amount of money that I can get in the current main job of task. So it's just pretty sad to think about it, but I just don't know how can I basically escape from my comfort zone, because that's definitely the one that make me lazy to do another opportunity, while the others much younger, more younger and younger people are basically already surpassed me, which is that's also one of the saddest moment. But it's okay, since maybe they do have bigger skills with a more shorter experience, which I just don't get it. So because position is always exists unless there is a dream place that you basically able to work with the same amount of very transparent, same amount of, I don't know, income or money that you able to receive on every single person, which definitely still possible, but yeah, it's definitely pretty hard, especially when there always be someone who basically already work in a longer period of time that always wanted to have more than the one that basically newer, unless they basically professionally hired as an experience, or all of the previous experience that is basically respected as the same amount of experience like the one that already worked for quite a long time. So yeah, it's already more than 60 minutes. I think I will try to end the stream, I guess, because it's already 90% on the iPhone battery as well. So I basically wanted to move into the pre-recorded emoji, because yeah, there's still a lot, especially on the video or footage that only records about something that's basically pretty much unnecessary.